I would be extremely beware of these so-called online coaches for narcissistic abuse, okay? Uh, First of all, you have no idea what their credentials are, and in most cases, I don't think they have any credentials. So if you're going to open up about private personal matters to a complete stranger, that is extremely dangerous. You should not do that. I would advise completely against doing that because, first of all, I met the narcissists that were trying to kill me online on Facebook, okay? There are predators everywhere online, and I wouldn't put it past anyone claiming to be some kind of online coach to be a predator as well. If you didn't go to school and finish a master's degree to be a licensed clinical social worker, as in a talk therapist, then you have no business trying to collect money from people and trying to capitalize off of people's problems, okay? Now, I understand that many people who do have a master's degree to become a clinical social worker are not familiar with narcissistic abuse. I understand that, so that many people prefer to speak to someone who's actually lived through it, and that makes sense. I understand that. However, if you're paying an online person, you have no way to verify any of their experiences, any of their claims, any of their background information. They have not been trained to listen to other people's problems. They have not put in the work in most cases. A life coach, I think, is some super duper easy thing where anyone could do that in one day, the certification. I mean, I'm not sure. I think it's some really ridiculous thing. So I would be extremely beware of anyone claiming to be a life coach. A lot of these so-called life coaches, okay, their life is a hot-ass mess, and yet they're supposed to tell me how to run my life? I mean, okay, well, how can you tell me how to run my life if your life is a complete disaster? You see what I'm saying? There's predators all over the internet. They love the internet. And what better way to be a predator than to take advantage of other people's pain when they're in a completely vulnerable state and really needing someone to listen to them. So I would seriously tell you, do not pay anyone to give you advice on what you're going through. You know yourself what you went through. You don't need a verification. Yes, it's nice to have an ear to listen to. It's very hard to find anyone to trust these days. I would suggest locally going to a therapist in your area, even if they are not as well versed in narcissistic abuse. At least they have been trained in techniques and done the work in schooling in order to be able to be therapeutic and listen to your problems. You know they have the credentials. You know if they were hired by an establishment that, they checked that they had their master's degree and all of that. They did all of that legwork for you. But to go and go spill all your problems to some complete stranger that their credentials cannot be verified is a complete recipe for disaster, in my opinion. I would not do that. I don't give I give advice in my videos. I don't charge any money. I don't monetize my videos. I don't ask people for money. I don't have a Patreon. I'm just simply speaking on my own experiences. That's all I'm doing. I am in school to become a licensed clinical social worker. I will not be finished for several years, and until then, I will not be taking any one-on-one clients until I'm fully trained in order to be a social worker. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to just collect money from people with zero training, and that's completely inappropriate, and frankly, I find it unethical to do. And there are just as many wolves in sheep's clothing that claim to be a therapist or some type of life coach than there are actual narcissists. You know what I'm saying? So I just wanted to put that out there because I'm finding it very disturbing, and I thought that was a message that needed to be out there. So be careful, protect yourself, and find a licensed therapist or even a friend that you can trust and confide in, that their background is verified, like you've known them since you were young and you know they're trustworthy. That would be a better shoulder to cry on, or a better ear to listen to, than a complete stranger online who they themselves could be a psychopath. You understand what I'm saying? Be very careful out here.